Primetime. That's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I would clean that bone about as good as anything.
Matt Hayes.
The guys they had last year, terrible.
And Leon Searcy.
Mama know that when you get to camp, you ain't going to see a lot of Big Daddy.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
All fired up and ready to go. Got some ball tonight. You got the big college football weekend. Your Jags are a little over a week away from kicking it all off. And this time next Thursday, we'll be talking about the NFL season kicking off. Dallas and the Eagles. Will Micah Parsons be part of it? All sorts of things to get into. I'm so happy we've stayed away from the Micah Parsons saga. My gosh, what the fact that ESPN has that one thing they can talk about constantly, or Shedeur Sanders being the number 3 quarterback. Those are the only two things that they get after on a daily basis. But we don't have to do that here. We're talking Jag ball. We're talking college ball, everything that's going on here on the First Coast that you guys care about more than anything else. Big Sirs on his way down to Miami as he gets ready for the big ball game. JJ will be joining him. Denny, the quarterback whisperer, already down there. Matt will be. Here we go. All right. Yes.
Yeah,
Is that for Christmas Day? Is that what that's for? Because today is. I'm surprised JJ didn't, lead the show off with the little.
You're surprised.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
We got the regular open, so that's probably the main reason why.
Right, but I mean,
you're telling me
this
is
Christmas Day, baby.
Dude, it was last Saturday with the first piece of college.
That was just some kind of little mirage for everybody.
What are you talking about?
That was an amoosh-boosh is all it was.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
You're going to compare Farmageddon to tonight?
It was an amoosh-boosh, a nice little bite.
Listen,
now
tonight
comes
we have
the
a
meal.
playoff team playing
that's
at
true.
5:30.
Boise versus
one of the
South
two.
Florida.
I mean, that game, and we're going to talk about the 25 games that will shape the college football playoff. That game, both of those guys could end up being in the college football play. Not at the same time, but both of them could have resume to be the group of 6 highest-ranked national conference champions.
Depending on how it goes, one of the hotter names in the coaching carousel for new hires may come from South Florida. It may be Andy Gold's when it's all said and done after, not just tonight, but the way the season goes. So
Alex Colts.
He's definitely out. He's definitely one of the guys that could be on the rise.
Next coach of Florida, even.
Yeah. You never know.
And if you're a Gator fan, you need to be scouting USF.
Pay attention to them. That's right. They're coming up fast on the schedule.
Especially
and
when
we'll
they
learn
roll into Gainesville and get that done.
We'll learn his first name if he beats Boise.
That's what I said. I switched it around. Matt at least corrected me. But the reason why he's not acknowledging that week 0 game was the one that literally kicked off college football is because he didn't pick the correct team.
That's true,
okay?
too.
That is the main reason why he doesn't want that. Those were my Iowa State Cyclones. You guys think you heard enough about Iowa? I'm Iowa State, baby. Okay? I am all in on the Cyclones. I'm a Matt Campbell man.
What was your team last year that you were all in on? I can't even remember.
I was manning the landing ship. I was big on Oregon.
On the Ducks, okay.
Big on the Ducks.
But he's been an Iowa State guy in years past.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
you are a Matt Campbell fan.
I have picked them consecutive years, and they got dusted by the Devils.
Get Matty on the show. He would love you.
They did get dusted by the Devils in that Big 12 championship game. And I'll be honest, I can't keep track of who's in the Big 12 half the time. But as a matter of fact, a great example yesterday, and it was missed by most because we were just trying to be humorous. It was missed by most, but not all. Okay, our Nooner Nation is sharp. They pay attention. JJ picked Oklahoma to win.
Yeah, of course.
For the most part, they're sharp.
Yeah.
There's some of them out there that still think,
the
whole Seinfeld.
I'm just trying to help them. That we were just having fun. So anyway, we got all the predictions that are out. Big Surge put his in. Matty, me, JJ, we all got them in. And so now we're just going to kind of see where it goes. But we're definitely going to talk a lot of college ball today for the obvious reasons. It does kick off in earnest tonight with the full slate from Thursday through Monday. You don't have to worry about going to your old TV guide or anything and finding college football from now on, NFL football starting next Thursday from now on into February of next year.
You're talking dirty to me, and I kind of like it.
That is so good. So good. All right, so a couple of things, and we thought we'd bring up FSU Alabama because if we talk about the big games, we've been talking about the 3 top 10 matchups more than any of the others. The Miami, Notre Dame, the LSU, Clemson, the Ohio State, Texas. Those are the ones that have kind of dominated our conversation. We occasionally have worked in a few of the others. And we've talked about Alabama and Florida State, but not a ton. So Seminole fans, love for you to jump in the noon hour and give us a little feel for what you're feeling, because there is a chance to maybe surprise everyone in college football if you pick off the Crimson Tide. But if you see something good out there and it's a good ball game and you play it right to the end, you may be surprised by what your Seminoles are going to look like this year. So let us know what you're thinking. 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can jump in the YouTube chat. We're real easy to find, streaming right now on YouTube. Just search 1010XL or XL Primetime. You can go back and watch any of the shows that you want. But we haven't really heard a ton from Noel Nation. And I think maybe one of the main reasons is we have...
They're reserving right now.
Yeah, well, that's true. They're reserving on the reservation for sure. But the other thing is when Mike Norvell decided he was going to wall off practice to the media, there hasn't really been any...
He's walled off everything this offseason.
And so there really hasn't been anything that you could feed off of if you were a Noel fan to get you fired up. You're going to hear basically what they want you to hear, which is not untrue on a lot of other campuses.
Right, not unlike it most campuses, actually.
They control the flow of information. Totally get it. Mike Norvell's not alone here. But up until this point, you could observe practice. He did give you access, and then he decided to take it away. And so they just kind of fallen off just in terms of what's the buzz, what's the chatter, because there really isn't enough of it right now.
The worst thing that happened to college football as far as access for media and really for fans, too, was the two maniacs winning so big, Saban and Herb, and then those off that tree, Kirby. You know, once they did that, everybody followed that plan of no assistant coaches talk to the media, no access to practice, very limited fan interaction. This is all a business, and they all treat it as a business. It's no longer like a fun little game, which kind of folds right into where we've gone over the last 4.5 years in this sport, where it's completely gone from this idea of this Pollyanna amateur model to now it's 100% the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was looking at some of the numbers just as far as what the NIL has produced, the amount of money that's out there. It's getting doubled, tripled, quadrupled.
Think about this real quick.
Yeah.
You too, JJ. When was the last time you heard that a guy was academically ineligible to play football?
Ha!
I think we might have seen players sit down or be sat down, and they say it was a team punishment or whatever, violation of team rules. But I don't think
there were times, Joe.
I'd have to think about that.
Not that long ago, where a guy was academically ineligible for the season.
Yeah,
I think it's been longer than we thought.
Because he didn't pass X amount of courses, X amount of credits.
That's probably been 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute for that. But the other part,
but that's kind of my point, though. There used to be guys in the summer where they'd have to take 16, 18, 24 hours in the summer just to be eligible, and it was always a question of, well, is he going to be eligible? We don't even hear that anymore.
No, it's we don't hear academics anymore.
Yeah, all the classes now are like online.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how much easier it is to pass now than it even used to be.
Cheating is just rampant, and they don't care.
we did play that sound at Dion.
It was good
last week where he's like, listen, I'll be walking around classes, and if you're sitting in the back with your hoodie up and your headphones in, that's unacceptable. And he's one of the rare ones, believe me. But to be real, like, I don't want these kids coming to Miami worried about classes and stuff.
Yeah, well,
I don't care about that.
When North Carolina was caught with the fake classes and their
basketball classes,
and their response to the fake classes for the football and basketball players was the general population of students could have taken the classes too. That was their response. That was their argument. Well, and the NCAA bought it.
Yeah, this has been going on forever, and I do love
when it ended, right? Yeah,
but I do love how we noble up from time to time and say, why aren't we hearing about it now? Because it was accepted. There was excuses made. It was explained away. Very little of that took place on a regular basis where you demanded that kids show up, get good grades. They still put out, what is it, the APR? Is that what it's called?
Remember that?
I think they still put it out.
Remember when you weren't going to be able to play in a bowl game if your APR wasn't at a specific level? So
for you guys who don't know, that is the percentage of kids on your team who graduate.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I was trying to remember if that was the right.
It's gone now because now there's everybody moves every year. So
that's what I'm saying. So how can you even have a college education when you've transferred to 3 schools in 4 years?
Right,
you know, that's.
I understand all that, but my point of the whole thing is less than 1% of these guys are playing in the NFL. So what are they going to do?
Well, I don't know.
And how long will that $200,000 that they make? How long is it going to last?
Well, you're suggesting then that there's more of them that are going to flame out.
I'm suggesting that they tie academics to the money they're giving them, but they never will.
How so?
They never will.
Like you can't get in unless you go to a certain amount of class.
No, unless you have a specific GPA. You have to get a specific GPA to earn your revenue sharing money.
Listen, this is your sport. They bastardize it. According to ESPN.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, but don't you think they would just fix that? And, the way they do guys going to class. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but when I say fix, I mean cheat.
But at least you're trying, for God's sakes.
Well, let's see if these guardrails and rules and regs and all that show up, because I would love it. You have to stay at one spot for...
There are no guardrails or rules.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're trying to get to. You think I don't know that we haven't had guardrails? Are you kidding me? Right now, a running back is making between $300,000 to $700,000. Okay, there are no guardrails. But I'm talking about what apparently is ahead, that you can tie whatever that money is, the pay for play, to you have to show up. And you got to be here for a minimum of 2 years. All right, so let's talk college football today. We want to get it going. Rebound Rehab, they are here when it comes to sports injuries. Could be a car accident, workers' comp, whatever it might be. Make sure you check out one of their many locations. We're talking a dozen locations across the First Coast. You can log on Rebound Rehab, 11 right now, soon to be 12, which means they are very close to your work, to your home, whatever it is. They, with their team of physical therapists, can get you back in the game. Make sure you check out reboundrehab.com. All right, so start coming in, FSU fans, 641-1010. What you think about your club opening up Saturday against the Tide?
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford. He's entered. Open the door to the Jags locker room to bring you exclusive insights and interviews on 1010XL.
This just in.
In the locker room with Hayes Carlion. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
It's time to elevate your back-to-school style with luxury and a brand-new Cadillac.
Discover the 2025 Luxury XT6, a spacious 7-seat SUV starting at just $49,195. Perfect for carpooling or weekend adventures.
That's right, or step up your game with the stunning 2026 Vistique, Escalade, and Escalade IQ.
I want to go back to school in style.
You can. Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville. This school year, it's all about style.
Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
He thinks he knows what he's talking about.
Of course.
Find out if he does.
Is there anything else we need to know?
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Right now at Beard's Diamonds, pay $0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, you heard it right. That $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours now for just $200 a month. This makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, just $100 a month? Say goodbye to high interest rates. Get the relief you deserve at Beard's Diamonds. But hurry, this incredible offer ends August 31st and will not be extended. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, only $50 a month? Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with zero down and zero interest financing. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let our non-commissioned experts at Beard's help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center, Jacksonville's premier locally owned jeweler. Shop now and enjoy zero interest financing for 5 years. Hurry, this amazing offer ends August 31st. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Thursdays on XL Primetime are restored by Rebound Rehab with 11 locations across the First Coast. Check out reboundrehab.com.
Oh, opening up presents
to Miami.
There you go. There you go. A little Christmas feel for you college football fans. That's your present under the XL Primetime tree. All right, so talk some smack today. We would love it. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. If you do feel like it's Christmas morning, you're so stoked. You've been waiting a while. You get it now. And it's going to carry on, like we said, all the way into when's the Natty? Late, whatever, mid-January.
Late January.
Yeah, late January now. Third week in January.
Mm-hmm. In Miami.
So, yeah.
At the Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why Big Sur's picked Miami to play in Miami for the Natty. He is so high.
Meanwhile, JJ's on the texting us saying he's panicking about this week's game.
Yeah. I am. January 19th, by the way.
Yeah, nothing like going from a Hurricane Hall of Famer saying they're going all the way to the diehard Hall of Fame fan, and they're going, I don't like this feeling right now.
I woke up this morning.
I don't like this
and
at all.
I still have my eyes closed, but I was seeing a 13-play drive with 12 running plays by Notre Dame to open the game. Go
like
up
they did
7-0.
Penn State last year. Yeah.
Yep. And Notre Dame fan is like, I love that you're dreaming about, because it's going to be big old Jeremiah that they're going to have to figure out how to neutralize and stop.
Yeah.
That's what we said about the coordinator. We don't know whether he's good or not. We're going to find out whether he can game plan against us.
Luckily, they don't have Al Golden on the defensive side anymore. Yeah. That would have been, of course he would have been super pumped.
Yeah.
For Al Golden to come in there and beat Miami. But wasn't it against Ohio State when they went on that drive to open the game? I guess it was Penn. I'm not sure.
Penn State? Is that the one?
Notre Dame last year. I thought it was the national title when they remember how tired Riley Leonard was after that drive?
Here's what you need to know. They opened up every game like that, okay? Because that's basically what they did. And when they got to that game, remember Jeremiah Love was not 100%.
Right.
And so that's why it was all Riley all the time. And Leonard did. He kept having to pick himself up off the mat and say, I got to go again. We do not have another play.
He ran 9 times.
Right. He looks over the sidelines. What's the play? Run that one again. Just you.
And it was a national title.
Yeah, you be you.
Same play coach until they stop it, Riley.
And so
I'm scared that could happen on Sunday. And a different quarterback.
That's a big dude, impressive guy. And so it's like,
so CJ Carr, also a very big dude.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking to myself, Riley has some experience, okay? Give the man credit for what he had done and how he knew how to handle the moment. This guy, we really don't know.
And I think this guy's much more of a pocket passer.
Yeah.
From what Twitter's been telling.
Yeah, not as mobile. Yeah. It's so funny because I'm talking to Derek DiStefano as the owner operator of the golf club of Southampton. That's all the vowels except you. And we were talking about it last night because he's a Notre Dame fan. And then Lynchy, one of my member of the golf mafia, nailed to the ground. They're both Notre Dame fans, and they're talking about it, trying to figure this thing out. I'm like, no one has seen CJ Carr. We don't know what this guy looks like. It's one thing to be the guy, but now you got to take that act on the road and prove that you can get it done. And this is an offense that should run through the running back with Jeremiah Love. They got a pair of them that are pretty good, but are they going to ask Carr to do the same type of stuff that Riley Leonard did last year? I don't think so. I think that's a dangerous ask right now.
So I don't think that they will ask him to do the same thing. Okay, I'm trying to explain. Remember when we were at TPC and Walker White came up to us? Remember the former Auburn quarterback? Mm-hmm. Denny had him come up. We talked to him.
Yeah, it was Peyton Thorne
you were like,
and
you were like,
Walker.
holy crap! Look, Walker White's huge.
He was huge.
He's 6'3", 210. That's
went
same thing. CJ Carr.
Yeah, went to Baylor, right?
Yeah. Same player.
Yeah.
So it's the same type of body size, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, they will do stuff in the run game with him. There's no doubt they will.
Oh yeah, no.
He's not going to be like Riley though. He's not going to run the ball 17 times.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Is that at times you can drop back, you cannot see all of your reads, you freak out, you take off.
Right.
Okay.
That's what CJ will do.
Right. Young quarterbacks will have to deal with that, and especially under center on the road. And so, yeah, he could freak out and maybe run more than Marcus Freeman ever had in mind. But at the same time, they want to make sure they got a little polish on him, that he can handle the moment, that there's a pocket protecting him, and that he doesn't get swallowed up by the Reuben Baines of the world. That's what I'm wanting to see, is how Reuben Bain and company handle Love, Carr and company. And
yeah, unfortunately, Miami on the defensive line is much better on the edges than they are up the middle.
Right. And so if they do get it running and rolling like you're describing the nightmare that you had, well, then, yeah, they don't.
It's going to be a long night.
Yes.
But a short game.
They got a couple of linebackers that are pretty good that you can definitely plan on seeing a bunch of if they're gonna neutralize Jeremiah Love. So we'll see where it goes. But it really comes down to, is it Heatherman, whether or not what his style of play calling, how many blitzes does he call? Does he basically try and keep everything in front of him and not get burned and just let Notre Dame work the clock and try and churn out a long drive? Who knows with that one? All right, so we're gonna talk about that one. Get back to FSU and Alabama, but I do have to read some of these numbers. According to ESPN, this came out earlier this week. Great power school quarterbacks, and they put in quotations, great power school quarterbacks cost $3 million and up. An average quarterback cost $1 million. Elsewhere, for high-end players, I just told you, running backs anywhere from 300 to 700 GER. Wide receivers 400 to 800. And I'm just betting Jeremiah Smith is making more than that. Tight ends 200 to 400K. Offensive tackle $500,000 to $1 million. Same number for edge rushers. These are individuals that are getting paid this amount of college cake to play the game. Cornerbacks, 300 to 800 grand. Safeties around the same number. And as it simply says, there's never been a better time to be an elite college football player.
Right, at the elite level, yes. Yeah. Yes.
100%.
But that's also private NIL deals added into that.
Yes.
It's not revenue sharing.
Yes. But you are already signing and lining up NIL deals, and now knowing that rev share money is also coming your way. They're not going to not give the best players their share of that revenue. So that's just on top of what the NIL is.
The majority of FBS schools, the Power 4 FBS schools, are going to use like 75% of their revenue share pool, which is between 20 to 23 million. They still haven't got a firm number on it, on football. So you're looking at probably 15 million on football.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing with the rev share. You're not paying a wide receiver $1 million because you have 85, and now if you go to 105, 105 scholarship guys, you got to pay.
Right. This, like I said.
So that's what my point is. The majority of that money you were talking about comes from the boosters, comes from the collectives, comes from private NIL deals.
Yeah. Yes, 100 on that. That's where these numbers are being generated. There's not even, this is a report that came out as far as the differences in NIL dollars, how they have gotten so fat so fast.
Right.
They have increased like another example, coaches over the last 2 or 3 years, I think it was 3-year period, their salaries have gone up 374%.
Right.
Okay, think about that.
Right, yeah.
And so,
thank you, Jimmy Sexton.
Yeah, in the NIL, it's not doubled, it's tripled, it's quadrupled, it's tenfolded. That's how nuts it is.
Right, that's what I think some fans get confused because the colleges are calling these payments, these revenue share payments, NIL payments. That's just the name they're using.
Right, yeah.
They're not NIL payments. They're sharing media rights revenue with players is what they're doing.
Yeah. All right, so you guys let us know what you're thinking about as far as the college football world is concerned. Let me get to a few of these. As far as Noel Nation is laying back, hoping for an unlikely win against Bama before they peel the Georgia Bulldogs sticker off their truck to reveal the Seminole one underneath. Roll, damn, Tide. So they're posing as Seminole fans. I do love it because it was always the joke. You're a fan of one until that one loses, and then you're a fan of the other ones. But I want to know what Seminole fans are thinking about, whether or not they have the confidence that Mike Norvell can fix the problems that they had up there. Florida State, when you take a look at what they did do, they made changes. Norvell felt the pressure. He immediately reacted to it, dumped both coordinators, and now is gone with 2 new cats. And Tommy Castellanos, which another texter did just say, Tommy's only getting $800,000. We're screwed compared to the other great quarterbacks that are out there.
Well, I mean, DJ, you got $1 million last year. Look what happened.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
No, that's the reason why they went 2-10 too.
Yeah. And so that's what you're looking at is whether or not that guy can deliver. Simple as that.
Look, and you guys are blowing up the text line. We love it. 641-1010. Give us your college football thoughts. Every time we bring up college football, this text line goes wild. I think. Look, I think he walled everything off in the offseason because he wanted to keep everything within those walls of we're completely changing everything. And I want everyone bought in. I don't want anything getting out. He was just basically in a situation where he's foxholing it right now. Mm-hmm. You don't go 2-10 and not foxhole it. You know what I mean? I don't blame him for that. And I think he's earned the capital with that unbeaten season. You got to give him that.
Well,
So now here he is. This is his move. He's done everything the way he wants to do it this offseason. Now let's see the product. Now you're going out there in that new refurbished stadium. That looks great, by the way. Mm-hmm. You're going out there and playing in front of that wild crowd. You got Alabama coming in. Alabama lost all 4 games last year away from Tuscaloosa. Mm-hmm. They struggled on the road. So until they prove that they can win a big game on the road, that means something. You got to think you got a shot, right? So, I mean, get out there and go play. Go play, get it to the second half and see what happens.
Yeah. And I think that it doesn't have that feel with the, quote, nothing to lose kind of moniker.
I don't think so, no.
Because they do have a lot to lose. And there's obviously changes that need to be made that he did act swiftly and did. But he's got not just his pride, but his contractual job security on the line. They're not going to fire him, but they're going to start looking for options if he doesn't turn this thing around sooner than later. And from the player point of view, you really got to check them at the door. What do you got in you, man? What are you willing to give? How are you going to get this team back on track? Because they were a disaster last year. So no one would have expected a 2-10 out of them last year.
No. First off, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
he's
that we understand. Yeah.
Anywhere. I don't care what happens this year. He's not going anywhere. They don't have $70 million to give him.
Yeah, all I said was it doesn't mean they won't start looking and talking.
Well, they can look and talk all they want. Yeah. Just like they looked and talked to the Big Ten, which wasn't a reality either. Right, they don't have the money.
Right, I know, but all I'm saying is that if he sucks, they will want to get rid of him.
The fans will, sure.
Yeah, same thing with Kalen DeBoer. And the fans pay the freight more now than they ever have. And so that's all I'm saying.
It's a different world now, bro.
I know. I'm not even suggesting they're going to fire him 100%.
I'm saying there's the reason why it's a different world is because even in Alabama and Florida State, they're different worlds because one's in the SEC and one's in the ACC. One has considerable more money than the other. My point is, if you're Florida State, not only do you not have the $70 million, but even if you had it, are we going to give it to him, or are we just going to give it to other players?
Yeah,
get better players in here.
Right, but if you get better players in there and the coach still sucks, how much more are you going to be record-wise?
Right. Well, that's the decision you have to make. But if you give a guy $70 million to not coach, to just walk away and not coach,
again, we're not.
Or DeBoer. Yeah, I'm not just saying. I'm just saying Mike Norvell. I'm saying DeBoer too.
Yeah, I'm only trying to make the point: is he going to get the job done? That's it. More than anything else. They will want to get rid of him if he doesn't get the job done.
I think he's proven he can get the job done. Yeah. That's kind of my point. I think you got to breathe a little bit with this guy. There were a lot of things that happened last year. He made the huge mistake with DJU. There's no doubt about it. And I think years down the road, when he doesn't, when he's no longer worried about offending DJU, he's going to say, we blew it. We blew it with the quarterback decision.
Right.
So that's what hurt them.
But that roster was more than just
it wasn't that bad, JJ. It really wasn't.
Yeah,
they were not bad on they were on the field all the time on defense.
Defense, they were fine.
Yeah.
But there was zero playmakers on that team at Florida State.
They lost the most important guy the first game of the season. The little receiver who was
there's skill position players at Florida State my whole life.
Yeah, for them
are fast, big, amazing. They looked like
their receivers were not that good. Yeah, their receivers were not.
It's in a lot of ways. How did Georgia all of a sudden lose their wide receivers that they had for so long with all the drops that they had and the suspensions that they had? They just looked like they were defunct in that department. Florida State didn't necessarily have the suspensions or anything to deal with. They just didn't have the players at that position that you expect them to have on a regular basis. And they had gone out and they had gotten some talented dudes through the transfer portal that ended up leaving, the Keon Coleman's, the Johnny Wilsons of the world. And then you were expecting, okay, he's just going to come right back and do it again. And they didn't. They didn't.
And they also missed on Hakeem Williams, who was a 5-star that everybody wanted, and he just never panned out.
Yeah, it really does run through the quarterback in a lot of respects. And when that guy wasn't any good, they were not going to be very good very often. That's for sure. All right, keep it coming, 641-1010. We're going to keep touching on this one, get into a handful of the other ones. It's a fun time for all you football fans, so definitely hang out with us. It's XL Primetime on a Rebound Rehab Thursday.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
At Keon Atlantic, the savings are back in session. You'll just need to follow these simple rules to make the most of your back to school. Step 1, switch out your car for an upgrade. Step 2, drive a new Kia starting at $20K. Step 3, make no payments for a whole 90 days. Hurry in to start back to school in a big way. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the big games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Bet anywhere, win here, only at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems Call DuckDuckRooter. They'll handle it, I guarantee it.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails. All in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape. And you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Kuhn Flowers announces their home holiday decorating team is now taking orders for the holiday season. This is JJ with 1010XL. No more hassling with tree buying, untangling, and hanging burned out lights. Call on Kuhn Flowers, they'll do it all.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Thursdays on XL Primetime are restored by Rebound Rehab with 11 locations across the First Coast. Check out reboundrehab.com.
Living proof, I like to call myself, that you can come back from serious injury, and they can do it with you, that's for sure. Reboundrehab.com. Check out all their locations all over the First Coast. Trained physical therapists, really the entire crew. The APTs, that would be there's a lot of good ones. The hookahs of the world.
The what?
The hookahs of the world.
Okay, I didn't hear the A the first time.
Yeah,
I heard...
Yeah, the hookahs.
I heard ER
of the world.
First time. All right.
So they are all there to help you, that's for sure. Check out reboundrehab.com. And they'll send you off once you get done with an app that you can find all your exercises on, put your little report in, and that way you can do it at home. But they definitely will help you. All right, now, normally we have rock and roll requests that come in on Friday. But since Matt did turn this into Christmas, the Big Bethea has already chimed in. He said you should have JJ play The Most Wonderful Time of the Year.
Okay, I got you.
By Andy Williams. Very fitting with college football starting.
Was that the one ESPN used to play during bowl season?
Yeah, they always do. Yeah.
So I like
they
that.
Ruined bowls.
Well, they might have kept getting bowls more and more on the air. You can't say ruin when you have Pop-Tart Bowl action.
No, that's true. I mean, nothing says greatness
when
like
that giant Pop-Tart comes out after they win the game.
I just think ESPN did their job, they've done a terrible job with the bowls over the last 10 years, and now it's like they're meaningless, man. It's sad.
They are everywhere.
I mean, for us to take out our quarterback halfway through, it's just nobody plays anymore. It was so much better.
But in that case,
the day, that commercial just brought so much hope to everyone.
Yeah. So in that case, ESPN not at fault there. It's just all these guys that say, you know what, my body is done serving college football. It is now it's an ATM machine, and I'm gonna start collecting.
I'm just saying, ESPN's helped tear this sport apart.
Yeah, maybe
just as much as everyone else has.
Yeah, but they've also helped more than anything building it up.
Yeah,
showing
prop it
all
up.
The games.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You can see any game you want.
That's
Every
true.
game is on TV.
I'll give them that. ESPN Plus is great, and the SEC Network and all that.
By the way, you can get that for $29.99 now.
Yeah, they made it a
new ESPN.
You start adding that stuff up. NFL to watch all the games, $1,200.
Yeah, and thankfully,
where did you hear $1,200 from? Who told you that?
I said it on the air. I went through the whole list. Well, you were right there.
Yeah, but if you get ESPN, that means ESPN and ABC. Okay,
yeah, I went through the whole thing.
That's $29.99.
Okay, I don't want to do this again.
And then you get CBS. That's $6.99. You get that's Paramount Plus. $6.99.
Oh, it's more than that.
Don't make me go back.
It's not. I just did it.
Okay, all right.
I'm doing it now. It's cheaper than what I'm paying for YouTube TV right now. And you get Peacock for the NBC games. Right. You get the Fox Sports app, which is coming in October, which is going to be $19.99. It ends up being like $90.
Then you're done. You get to see every NFL game.
Yeah, and then I don't have to get YouTube TV or anything.
So that's with the new ESPN app.
Yeah.
Well, I get to see every NFL game. I never wanted to see every NFL game anyway.
Again, that was my whole point. Is that it was over 1,200.
Do you get the ticket every year?
No, I don't. I was just putting this out. Just leave it alone. Just let it die.
Stop trying to argue with the facts.
It's over $1,200 to see every NFL game. All right, off the text line.
I can't let things like that go.
I know, you just have to let it go.
Well, quickly on the TV front, Fox did come to a deal with YouTube yesterday.
Yes,
so they can watch the Texas-Ohio State game if you have YouTube TV this weekend, because that would have been, tragic. A major buzzkill.
And I'm trying to remember, there was a front office, or one of them put it out there, that someone had to step in big time to make sure that they got this thing sorted out.
A head honcho
my guess would be like the president of Fox Sports stepped in.
Somebody big. I'll pull it up here in a second.
Mr. YouTube himself.
Yeah. All right. I love Head XL Primetime texting in. You Nooners, we appreciate it. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Most fans have no confidence in Norvell, but sadly, he still has more recent success than UF or UM conference chip unbeaten regular season.
Wow.
So you can't help but put that in.
Straight
I do love that. Hey, listen, take your swings when you can. All right, so we're going to stay on college football, but I want to get to a couple of things from Jimmy Gladstone's, as I like to call him, a.k.a. Harry Potter, a.k.a. James. And so he talked yesterday about coming through, settling on the 53-man roster, and then getting to the point where they're going to go ahead and bring in these undrafted free agents and all the stuff that they decided to do, including trading for Tim Patrick yesterday. But one of the things that had to jump out to all of y'all when you're looking at this roster is like, holy smokes, 2 undrafted free agents made this football team playing the same position in Danny Strigo and B.J. Green. This was Jimmy on that subject.
I think as you guys followed us throughout the preseason, it became abundantly clear that those 2 guys were making a dent in real live performances, and that was the case in our practice settings, and both showing up not only on the phase of defense but also special teams, right? And to find players at that position who can contribute on special teams isn't always easy. And so they're made of the right stuff. They committed themselves to the process, accepted the coaching, and it's panned out. And really excited for both those guys, excited for that room and really the outlook there. And really happy with how it unfolded, pointing back to our coaches and scouts working in tandem to really get those deals done.
And scouting is huge, man. And if you get to a point where you're starting to find those diamonds in the rough, those gems, either late in your draft or after your draft is over, and the roster turnover has been a huge topic. We said it yesterday. When you take a look at basically, what was the number? It was a huge, eye-popping number in the more than 24 that were on this roster a year ago, not here this year. He was asked about that.
It wasn't something that you intentionally set out on saying, hey, we're going to turn over this percentage or this number of the roster. It was an organic approach, and I think when you have high demands for players and expectations of standards, it can become easier to sift through who makes the most sense moving forward and who makes the most sense for being here. Certainly excited about the group that we got in the moment, but can't say that it was with any intent to get to a certain number or percentage of roster turnover.
Yeah, I agree. No intent like we're setting out to do this, but let it play out. And if you find better people, you say goodbye to the old. That's really what you do. And that's what this front office and coaching staff has decided to do.
Yeah, I think it's a good story. Those 2 guys made the team. Strigo was my guy in the training camp, but the reality is that was a need, and they didn't go after it in the draft. That was a need, and they missed in free agency. So I get it. It's good that you get 2 free agents, street free agents basically, guys undrafted, to come in and make that team. But it also kind of underscores that you kind of blew it a little bit.
Well, we haven't seen the product yet. We don't know if they blew it. When you say they missed a free agency, who'd they miss on?
The end they signed from.
Well, Fred Johnson.
No, the edge. Emmanuel Ogba.
Ogba, right.
We don't know that they've missed on him. That's my whole point. It's basically it's turning over a roster. You can't do it all in a short amount of time.
No, I know you can. I know you can. So all I'm saying is they didn't in the draft. They didn't do anything with the defensive line.
I look at it and I say to myself, they're trying.
And that was clearly an issue,
right? And they're plugging in pieces that they felt like they chose not to go with interior defensive line in the draft, and we'll find out whether it backfires on them or not. They went out and acquired 2 free agents, one of them in a deal and not a free agent but a trade, and then the other one a free agent. We just got to find out and see what it looks like. I don't think that would suggest that they blew it. They've found guys that are hungry and come to work, and they said, we're going to let them make this team, and we're going to start the build off of these young guys. At least that's how I see it. It would be more negative if they didn't keep anybody past who they've got right now on their depth chart as far as free agency or the draft. You know?
All right, we just look at it differently.
Yeah, we definitely do that. There is no question about it.
Well, I'm just not jumping in the deep end, man.
Well, I don't think anybody.
I'm just standing and waiting. That's all. I'm waiting and letting it play out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. 641-1010. We've been talking college football. We will definitely get back to that. Just kind of getting an idea of what we are looking forward to. More news and notes following the big games with 3 top 10 matchups. And then, like we said, plenty of talk about FSU and Alabama. We'll get to that coming up on XL Primetime.
XL Primetime, driven by big number 1 Duval Ford, the number 1 place to buy your next vehicle. When you listen to radio play-by-play, you don't just hear the game, you feel it.
They feel good. That feel good.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
4 guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway Sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at Everbank.com/London.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 28, 1977, Nolan Ryan strikes out 300 batters for his 1-2-3-4 5th consecutive year.
Looking for summer fun the whole family can enjoy? Check out Wick, a candle bar. Make your own custom candles and body care products in store at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo. What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Yo, Jacksonville, Hickens Hype. Checkmate Coatings crushes it with floors I'd put in my own pad.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings.
We coat it all. Garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Rush to checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Thursdays on XL Primetime are restored by Rebound Rehab with 11 locations across the First Coast. Check out reboundrehab.com.
It's the most wonderful time of
You get that feeling in your gut, like, oh yeah, man.
Andy Williams, too. So underrated.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. I'm talking about college football. When I say you get that feeling in your gut, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Did I get the nachos set up? Do I have the right Velveeta to go on top of? What am I going to put on there? Am I going to go with shredded pork? Or am I going to go with shrimp or chicken? And then you're thinking about how many cold beers do you have? You're just thinking about everything. Can I set up another TV in here?
Baby, you forgot the orange juice.
Oh, my gosh.
Get back to Publix.
Go. Just make
I'm
one more
watching
run.
the game.
Yeah, make one more run. Right. Please. Nothing better. TLD will occasionally go, do you just want me to go buy a box of wings? Like,
yes,
she
baby.
never asked.
Yes,
that.
I do.
Right. Yeah. The answer is never no to that, babe.
Never asked this stuff. I'm like, well, now that you mention it, yes.
The answer every time, do you want me to go buy any box, any bag, wings, box, whatever? The answer is always yes.
Bag.
Yes.
It's the best.
Do you want me to go get wings takeout? Yes.
Do you guys have anything special for this weekend, like food-wise?
Well, TLD, we're celebrating my beautiful wife's birthday.
Nice.
But we will.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Diane.
I told
26 years old.
Exactly. She's so awesome. I told the lovely Diane, I said, look, honey, you're going to feel so special on your birthday. I said, because do you know how many big ball games we're all going to be together watching? I said, we are going to have so much fun as a family.
You sure know how to grow.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you ready for Texas, Ohio State at noon?
Right.
And then
Did you look at her and say, babe, Ohio State, Texas at noon. Is there anything better than that?
I went kind of around the corner with it. I said, let me just paint the picture for you. I'm going to make sure that you get to sit back, relax, put your feet up. I'll get you whatever you want to eat or drink, and you don't have to do anything. You
don't even leave the house.
Sit back and enjoy.
Did you
relax.
Was the qualifier until noon?
No, she can totally sit back and relax the entire day. I'll go get anything, but no.
Oh man, that actually sucks.
She's loving it.
No, my food choice for this weekend, JJ, is going to be like whatever's in Greenville, South Carolina, and then.
Oh yeah, you're on the road.
Yeah. On a plane somewhere.
So you're going to 2 games, working 2 games this
LSU
week?
Clemson, then Miami, Notre Dame, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're staying in Greenville?
Staying in Greenville.
Greenville.
I love it.
Back to Atlanta, getting Atlanta, flying to Fort Lauderdale, and going to that game.
How far is the drive Greenville to Atlanta?
2.5 hours.
Okay,
without traffic.
I'm a Greenville fan. I like
There'll
that town.
be traffic.
I do too. It's really cool.
It's a good town. That's for sure. All right.
Speaking of food, by the way. Mm-hmm. Speaking of overeating.
Let's play this real quick. Okay, so Chad Johnson and Shannon Sharp.
That was very good, Matt.
Yeah.
That was very Joey.
Very segue.
Yeah.
So, Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp, they go off on the fact that the Bucs released Desmond Watson, and they basically went after the franchise instead of taking a look at this huge human being and saying, bro, you need to drop some LBs. Forget about football. You need to make sure you just take care of yourself. Anyway, Desmond was working his fanny off to try and drop some LBs. Remember, they had him working off to the side and everything like that, and he didn't make it.
He didn't look that bad, actually. He's still a
450 pounder.
Big man.
Yeah.
But he didn't. I mean, he looked sloppy at Florida. He didn't
really. Saying he looked better?
Okay.
Hey.
All I'm saying is he's a giant individual. I'm just saying he didn't look sloppy with the Bucs.
But JJ and I agreed the pewter is slimming.
Yeah, compared to that Gator white practice uniform.
Right? Because he kind of looks like just like a big guy, right?
Yeah, the red and pewter makes him look more like
right?
Luka.
Yeah.
And it's a little more slimming. Anyway, here it is, Chad Johnson and Shannon Sharp.
Buccaneers waived Desmond Watson, the former Gator rookie, listed at 449 pounds with the Bucs. Are the Bucs giving up with Big Dez too soon, Ocho?
I would like for him to allow him to play and see how he plays at the size he's at now. He played at that size at Florida, so I understand what you guys are trying to do for safety reasons, but it's how he played at Florida. So why draft him if you're not going to allow him to play the game of football? Why not let him finish out his childhood dream? Why even put him through the ringer like that?
He's 6'5".
Yeah. Big boy.
He only gonna get so small through diet and exercise. 6'5", you're not gonna get him to 350. Because if you get him to 350, he can't play football because you taking all his strength away.
Hold on. How much Vita Vea weigh, huh?
Vita Vea probably 350.
So he's 365. Desmond Watson, 365?
450.
Oh,
yeah, that's a
he didn't even realize.
That sounded like Mo Malone.
Yeah,
faux.
It's like, I was off by 100 pounds.
Chad's like, okay, forget about it.
Now, Chad, I can excuse him because he thought he was 360.
Yeah.
Shannon knew how big he was and was still arguing that insane point. And he was like, I mean, how much can a 6'5" guy even come down? Dude, most 6'5" guys don't weigh 460 pounds.
No, that Shannon was shy about 20 pounds. He weighed in at his Florida Pro Day. You ready for this? 464 pounds.
No, that's 464. Okay.
Jeez.
It is
464. Yeah. See, I blame Florida. Florida had 4 years to get him somewhat in shape.
You know who I'm going to blame? I mean, I've heard a lot of this. I'm going to blame Desmond Watson.
Of course.
Please.
Of course.
He obviously has an addiction. Like, has to at this point.
Yeah, that
JJ,
biggest loser.
He also could have like
a Damian Woody. Think of how much he dropped. Okay.
He might have a medical problem, JJ. So you can't make fun of him.
I'm not making fun of him. I'm saying it's on him. I mean, like, people have been blaming Florida for years about this kid.
Now,
and there's only so much you can do. You can't literally force a guy to stop eating. Right. I'm pretty sure that's against the law.
Yeah, now Florida and Tampa are both being blamed.
Yeah.
All right, it's XL Primetime, heading to the 1 o'clock hour.
XL Primetime from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios. He used to lay the lumber on the field.
No, I'm not a quarterback, but I like eating quarterbacks for breakfast.
Now he lays his opinions on Jaguars Today. Tom McManus. Fridays on 1010XL. Open by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Right now at Sonny's, Q Crew Rewards members get free kids meals Monday through Wednesday when dining in. Just another reason why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Soft takes are boring. That's why I dropped the hammer on the Frangie Show.
I'm Hayes Carlion. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes, weekday afternoons on 1010XL.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
This is Nah Lawrence Stample, national champion and owner of NLS Cleaning, your commercial and residential exterior cleaning experts, where we do pressure washing, gutter cleaning, and paver sealing, plus window cleaning, the right way. Football season's back. Let us get your home or business looking its best. Mention this ad and get 20% off your first service. That's right, 20% off, but only through September 30th. Call us at 708-8802. That's 708-8802. NLS Cleaning, championship service every time.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Back to school special with those guys. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135 plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Jacksonville Jaguars have signed defensive lineman Matt Dickerson to the practice squad. The team has announced today he totaled 42 tackles, 3 being for loss, and 3 quarterback hits in his career. Right now, 86 degrees at 103, time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Thursdays on XL Primetime are restored by Rebound Rehab with 11 locations across the First Coast. Check out reboundrehab.com.
1 o'clock hour is here. We got Leavon Kirkland coming up about 10, 12 minutes or so. One of the big-time stars at Clemson as we get ready for Clemson LSU. Tiger on Tiger crime. We're definitely going to ask him what he thinks about, well, the old moniker that the stadium is commonly referred to as Death Valley Junior. So we're going to see what he thinks about that.
What happened to the P in your Clemson? You used to use the P.
I'm all over the place with it. I will definitely. I like to put the Z in from time to time, so I'll go Clemson,
which is also incorrect.
Yeah, Clemson,
but you're typically with the P.
Yeah, but Clemson. I do it from time to time, but I just try and mix it up just a little bit. Okay, Listen, there are new words added to the dictionary every day, okay? And Clemson might be the next one.
Where are you guys leaning with that one?
That's for sure. I'm leaning towards the team that dresses in the home locker room.
Yeah, I am too. Like, I'm starting to lean heavily, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
Why? Well, let's see why. Why LSU?
Nussmeier over Klubnik. Simple enough for me.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Okay, so here's how I look at that.
I don't know about Nuss. He takes too many chances.
Nussmeier has to clean up his mistakes, or they are going to be his undoing. And Brian Kelly has done a great job from year one to year two of a starter at quarterback to eliminate those mistakes. But the way I'm looking at this game, it's the defense that both of those teams are going to face. Who will face the fiercest pass rush? Who will face the best back end?
Clemson's D-line's fierce.
I mean, let's be honest.
I think that Clemson front, bro.
And that crowd's going to be
let's also be honest. No matter what you think of Nussmeier, he ain't Jaden Daniels. That's number one. Number two, he doesn't have neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. and Kyron Lacey running around out there either.
That worked out well for Jaden.
Although no one has Kyron Lacey running around.
And
God
company.
bless his soul.
Yeah. So, but that's for sure. That's for sure. All right, so we're going to talk about that game and a couple of the other big ones. We promised some more college football notes that we want to throw at you, and we definitely have to get back to the reaction from Seminole Nation as far as Mike Norvell is concerned. But let's go back real quick to what James Gladstone, a.k.a. Jimmy Gladstone's, was talking about as your general manager once the roster had been finalized, adding players to the practice squad, which all became official yesterday. Doesn't mean it will stay exactly like that, because RJ just already talked about another acquisition, so they ain't backing down. But he was asked about how Cohen has handled the Hunter situation, because Travis Hunter comes in, they're planning on playing him both ways. We saw a lot of him offensively, and then he would only work one side of the ball and then go to the other side in different practices. And towards the end of minicamp, you saw him just do a little bit of both. And we all know that during training camp, he definitely was worked in and infused on both sides of the ball a number of times. Anyway, Jimmy was asked about how Cohen has handled the Hunter situation, particularly with that injury.
Well, when there's an opportunity to be bold, he don't flinch either, So, no, he's jacked about that up, and I won't speak for him. But look, we're not going to just do it some cookie cutter approach. We're looking to gain an edge, and I think we'll try and apply that in every way that we operate. Obviously, some of the dynamics that you just surfaced, they're real, but at the same time, they can provide us with a real edge, and we look forward to trying to bring that to life.
He didn't just say surfaced there, did he? Mm-hmm. He didn't say some of the dynamics you just surfaced.
Yeah.
He also says space, in this space. He said that a lot yesterday. Yeah. In this space, that space.
I'll take it all day. I love how the look on Matt's face is just it's constant.
It's not just me, JJ.
I know that.
Yeah,
but
sounds silly.
I'm looking at you, Matt. So that's the only thing I can do. Look, I'm a fan. I will not have you coming after Jimmy Gladstone like this.
I'm not coming after him. I just think it's weird. That's all.
You're a wordsmith of all.
Well, he does talk weird.
He does.
Joe, come on.
Does. I'm not denying it. All I'm saying is I'm trying to preach Jimmy as I'm getting off the Balky Bible. Okay, that's all.
I'm not saying he's not going to be amazing, and I cheer for him, and I think he's cool. But I think he says the way he talks to me, it's silly.
He is 100% trying to fit a lot of words in. Like he writes them down maybe early in the morning and says, I got to work this one particular word in 8 different ways. So he's totally that guy. But
I will say this: he's
been working his ass off.
He's doubling down on we want to do rare.
Yeah.
So you are going to see Travis Hunter play a lot on defense,
which is great. He says everything he says as much as people say, I'll say this. Okay. And so I like the fact that he is just trying to give you some, like you said, rare. They're going to be different and figure out.
I think he's going to start both ways. I think when their defense is out there, he's out there.
Yeah, we don't know what this.
We don't, but that's what I'm saying. I think that's what's going to happen.
What this code is going to look like, or play sheet, or requirements on both sides of the ball, we really don't know. And I honestly believe that the way it's going to play out is basically on what they observe from Travis Hunter. How much can he take? Does he get burnt? Is he getting beat? Is he getting beat up? All those things will have a huge hand from one game to the next as to how many times they play him.
Absolutely.
And they're going to, you're right, though. They're going to go full bore all in.
Especially the first 2 series. I think for the fans, he's going to start on offense, and he's going to start the first series on defense.
Yeah, let's make this the 10-10 take because, that's the most enthusiastic thing these fans can look forward to.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
Enthusiasm. You know, whenever you're getting ready for a big meal, you come in enthusiastically ready for whatever the big menu item that you're getting, like those you can eat ribs for less than $20. Man, treat yourself this Labor Day weekend. Drop on by any one of your area Sonny's enthusiastically and get into it. But his enthusiasm I love because he's trying to build something that you could be proud of. And in the Travis Hunter experiment, let's just at least call it that right now because that's what it is you're gonna find out what he's capable of, what he's willing to do, how much can he absorb on both sides of the ball from a physical, punishing point of view, and then they're just going to go off of that. And so fans can really get jacked up for the idea of seeing Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball. You don't have to change jerseys when you go from one side to the other on game day. And then they'll figure it out, like, oh, my God, this guy's getting beat here, he's getting beat up there. Then they'll have to adapt and adjust. But for now, oh, man, look forward to it. That's the 10-10 take. And you hope, based on what they've said, that he had the time off, you didn't see him in the last 2 preseason games, and that he's good to go, ready to play at 100%.
Right. I'm not sure how many defensive plays he's going to play. I mean, but if you listen to Gladstone, he's doubling down there. There's no doubt he is.
But is it Gladstone's call?
Of course it is.
How much Travis Hunter plays?
I think it's not. I think it's partly his call. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it is now. I would say if it does go bad.
I think they all have a plan. I think Cohen, Gladstone, and Tony have a plan for him.
Sure, but I think if it, like, you go into the game, coaches are making the decision on how many times a guy's going to play.
Right, of course.
And then if you go from week 1 to week 2 or week or maybe month 1 to month 2.
Of course, but my point is there's a plan out there for him. There's no doubt.
And then you're thinking about, wait a minute, my long-term investment could just get wrecked if we keep going down this path. Then maybe a general manager says that. But up until that point, Cohen says, bro, you got to play here, you got to play there.
Yeah, you hired Cohen to make those decisions.
Yeah. No, I get that. What I'm saying is the 3 guys that are running the show right now up there have a plan for him.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope that they're not, like, overstepping their boundaries to try to get this guy more playing time on a certain side of the ball because they want it to do that. Meanwhile, Cohen's like, I'm here every day. I'm seeing these guys practice. I know what he's capable of.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, he's going to make the decision.
I hope.
But I would be shocked if he doesn't start on both sides of the ball. Shocked. Because that's you're not only doing it for the fans, you're doing it for the NFL too.
Right. Yeah,
that'll be the story of the NFL.
Right. No one's going to be shocked. He is doing that.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm
happening.
saying.
That is we're just talking about once hits happen.
Right.
Yes.
How many?
Once the real world starts to
how many
come
times
into focus
do you see him on both sides of the ball? All right, that's it. So let's say a little Leavon Kirkland coming up here. Clemson, LSU. We talked to one of the stars. He was a Steelers star with Big Sirs and certainly a star at Clemson. So we'll talk ball with him coming up on a Rehab Thursday.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
Get ready to go viral with us.
Jeff Prosser and Dan Hicken on the Swamp Sessions podcast.
It's No Holds Barred, live streamed on the 1010XL social channels right after every Gator game.
From Voodoo Brewing Company.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
You've got fantasy football questions. This is where you get your answers. 1010XL's Fantasy Football Draft Guide with insight from Hacker, Hayes, Fat Tony, and me, Mike Dempsey. Get the guide at 1010XL.com and on all of the 1010XL social channels.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Garrett Scantling here, and once again, thanks to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. My torn hip labrum issue is resolved thanks to Dr. Doward, and Dr. Acevedo keeps my feet healthy too. Training and competing, that's what it's all about for me. And Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has me in top condition.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Watch football this season in downtown Duval at Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. 2 floors, 15 TVs, a giant projector, 80 self-pour taps of ice-cold craft beer, wine and cocktails, plus a full bar, wings, burgers, and more, and pizza delivered to your table from Pizza Dynamo. Downtown at Laura and Forsyth. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. A beer festival every day.
These are the last days for Monahan Jewelers store-wide 40 to 50% off sale. These are the biggest savings we could possibly offer, with everything on display discounted 40 to 50% off, ending Saturday, August 30th. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it, and the only way to do that is to give you huge deals at 40 to 50% off everything. And the sale ends this Saturday, August 30th. Diamond jewelry, colored gemstones, gold chains, everything. Everything on display is 40 to 50% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
This is Dylan Denmark with 1010XL, and Kuhn Flowers will do your holiday tree decorating, including all of your lights. Wow! So call on Kuhn Flowers today. They'll do it all this fall.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
A Clemson great, a Steeler great, and definitely one of the guys that you want to lean on when it comes to experiencing big ball games. Let's say hello to Leavon Kirkland, who joins us on XL Primetime. We're missing Big Surge today, but it doesn't mean he didn't deliver Leavon Kirkland to us to talk Clemson LSU. Leavon, welcome in. How you doing?
Hey, man, I am doing well. I hope you guys are doing well as well.
Yeah, we're doing great, and the main reason, Leavon, is because of all this ball. Sir. It's all this ball.
Man, week 1 is incredible football stories.
So
I mean, I don't think that football guys could have done any better than to bring this week 1 into fruition and how it's going to play out. It is definitely a good time to be on planet Earth and to be in America and to have Saturday come up where we can watch football. Well, really, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday.
Yeah. Can I get an amen?
It's a great week.
Yeah.
It's so good. So let's just start. I've been calling it Leavon. We're talking with Leavon Kirkland. He was a Clemson great, Clemson Tiger, Pittsburgh Steeler, and you see him. He was one of the most agile big men that I ever saw play the game. So how big is this game in Death Valley in your mind for the Tiger fans?
Well, I think it's definitely a big game, but I think it's more so a big game of going forward. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely a game that if you're the team that wins, you got a lot of great momentum going into the season. So in that perspective, it's a really big game. And man, I bet you wish you had preseason games in college now just to kind of see where your team is, to play a team like LSU or play a team in the top 10. That's a tough task for anybody. So, yeah, man, the energy is going to be just flowing here. It really is.
Hey, Leavon, when you were in college, did you play a game of this magnitude to start a season? And if you did, how did that help you focus the entire offseason?
Well, not really. I think the only game that we played like this was like the second game of the year, and we played Florida State. And that's when they did the punt Ruski, and they beat us that year. But we came back the next year, and we clobbered them. The next year, we really got our revenge back. So usually the first game was just kind of a layup, a team that you can normally beat, and, kind of work out the kinks, and make sure you're ready for the second game. But our second games were against, opponents like I said, I think we played Georgia one time or played Florida State. I know we played those guys twice. So, yeah, not quite like this, though. This is going to be 85,000 strong. It's going to be one Tiger versus the other Tiger, bragging rights for the naming Death Valley. So it's going to be cool.
So, Leavon, when you look at this game and how Clemson has rebuilt, so to speak, over the last couple of years, how close do you think they are to regaining that 2 national championships in the last decade form?
Well, I mean, you never know these things. You really don't. You don't know. But I think as is, I think we're very close. I think that Coach Dabo Swinney's done a tremendous job of building this team and doing it his way. And I think the formula is there. It's just, you have to make up your mind that you want to be great. And I feel like this team is there. They made up their mind that they're going to be great, and they're going to march forward.
When I think of some of the guys that I see on this front, we're talking with Leavon Kirkland. He was outstanding defensive player for Clemson as a linebacker, and then ultimately going into Pittsburgh wearing that number 99. When I talked to T.J. Parker and Peter Woods earlier during the offseason, and both of these cats look like they are ready to be first-round draft picks, that they're going to anchor that front. That's the edge I'm giving to Clemson right now over LSU. Have you taken a look at this defense and what they're capable of?
I think the defense is going to be, a more mature defense. I think by adding help on the other side, it gives you a two-headed monster as far as rushing the pass is concerned. And then I think Peter Woods is probably the best 3 technique in the game. Mm-hmm. And you got Jay Parker there who can control the middle. So I think it's going to give a offensive line that hasn't really worked together at all, really, that experience. And usually that's the key with the offensive line. I mean, have they work together for a long period of time. And if you don't have that chemistry, it can be tough going against a team that seems to be as loaded as Clemson is.
So, Leavon, I think you made a very good point earlier when you said this is not only an important first game, but it sets up what could be the remainder of the season, especially considering the schedule is very manageable for Clemson. They win this game, they've got a chance to be a 1 seed, be the actual overall 1 seed in the playoff. Are you looking at it the same way?
Well, I mean, the cautionary person in me is not so much.
Right.
I've been around the game as far as not only as a player, but a coach on all 3 levels. And the game is too funny. That ball is shaped so funny that you just can't really take for granted that you win one game. Well, you're just going to win the rest of the game. These guys are still young men, and it takes a special group to win all their games. But I think this Clemson group definitely has the opportunity to do that. But they, the last couple of years, the first game has not been a great game for Clemson, so I think getting over that hump and, everybody's saying how down Clemson was. So I think it is, for Clemson, it's more than just winning this first game. I think it's kind of like letting everybody, giving everybody notice what kind of team this is and how I think they're going to be a big player as far as the national championship picture goes. But, like everything, you just have to kind of wait and see. But I think this team has a different attitude than maybe last year's team. But I think last year's team has helped this year's team understand that, they can go to playoffs and they can do fairly well. In the game against Texas, I mean, they did some great things, and they did some stuff that, you can see them as contenders. And a lot of times you can get that momentum, and especially when you're talking about emotional young men, they can take that momentum. That first game, they win Saturday. Then, for them, the sky's the limit. But, you always have to do the work. If you can do the work on a very consistent basis, then you can talk to that inner voice and let them know that this is what we're planning on doing. The sky's the limit.
Couple more for Leavon Kirkland. He's in the Clemson Ring of Honor, the highest honor you can get, Hall of Famer up there, that's for sure. When Clemson last year was number 85 against the run. Now Tom Allen comes as their new defensive coordinator. Were you ever on a team that was number 85 against the run, Leavon? Because they got to tighten their belt on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I've been on some teams where we stopped people for like 85 yards, but never a team that was that ranked at 85th for stopping the run, and that really shouldn't be Clemson if you think about what Clemson has been during the Dabo era. That's just not what you expect. So to see that, that was it was a wake-up call, I imagine, that a lot of times when you do make, you can look at issues one way or the other. You can either look at it and say, man, we suck, we're not good, or whatever, or you can look at it and say, okay, this can be corrected. And we have the tools that can do it. We just have to really get the confidence in doing it and making sure that we understand where we are. What are we supposed to do on defense, and not make defense too complicated, because at the end of the day, defense is all about reacting. And it's about tackling. It's about making plays, and you have to let your athletes feel free to make plays. So I think in a lot of ways it was good because you saw what your weakness was, and you decided to do something about it. And I think that I know that with Coach Allen, that our defense is going to be a lot better. You can just feel it in the spring game. You listen to some of the players and the confidence they have, and if your players don't buy in, it's not going to work. So they got to have buy-in, but they also have to take ownership of what kind of defense they're going to be. So it's going to be interesting to see this year what kind of defense that Clemson is going to produce.
Yeah, I love Tom Allen. Great coach. He fits in perfectly there, too. So, Leavon, did Serge tell you his prediction for the season? Because he was on here yesterday saying the Canes are not only going to win the ACC, but they're going to win it all, which means that's going through Clemson. Has he told you that?
Well, of course not. But I think that Cersei is just like most Miami Hurricane fans and players. They just have a belief that they're going to do it. And they've done it they've done it throughout their history. I think it's a new time. I don't think that that's the Miami that we see nowadays, but they just have that false bravado that they're always going to win because they're Miami. I think it's funny to me that they all have that mindset. You know, you listen to anybody that's on, you know, who roots for Miami, that play for Miami, they feel like every single time they're going to win because they're located in Florida, and, you know, the players are from Florida, from Miami, and that they're going to get it done. But, you know, it's a new day in college football, and I think Clemson has proven that they belong in the upper echelons of teams, and that they have been a blue blood of college football in the last, 17 years. So I'm sure certainly did say that they're going to win it all. They always say that. Every time we're going to win it. We're going to, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they're beginning to sound like the Dallas Cowboys. The fans that are always predicting that they're going to win it all.
I love it. He fired one shot over Dallas's way, which is great. All right, listen, last one for you because this is another one. Big Surge likes to talk trash, and Brian Kelly Jr. does as well because he called Clemson Stadium, Howard's Rock, the home of it, Death Valley Jr. What do you say to that?
Yeah. History says that we were called Death Valley first. Mm-hmm. So just having little games this year. There's nothing wrong with that. Just trying to. It's like, a wrestling sometimes, or a fight, a boxing match. One opponent is trying to really hype up the game.
Right.
Yeah. They're trying to get butts in the seats, which is not going to be a problem this time around. It's not going to be a problem at all. But a lot of times, if you pay attention to that, then you're what we call a sucker.
Love it, man.
You don't want to play into that. Some people will, though. Some fans, some reporters, they're going to say, "Hey, what do you say about that?" Just like you asked me, but I think you're smart enough not to play into that. And last time we played them, they did win, so they have the bragging rights thus far. So they're going there, and that's come out Saturday night and prove to everybody that this is the real Death Valley, and they're going to be contenders for the national championship.
We love it, man. Listen, thanks for the time. Enjoy that game, and hopefully we'll catch up again when Big Surge is back in the building. Thank you very much, Leavon.
All right, dolls. Y'all be good.
All right, man. Leavon Kirkland. So you heard the Clemson side. We're definitely going to talk about the other big ball games. We're trying to line up Jack Kaiser right now, coming out of the Jags locker room to talk Notre Dame and Clemson. That'll be coming up on XL Primetime.
XL Primetime, driven by big #1 Duval Ford, elite service for elite companies. There's a certain romance to radio play-by-play.
We need you to be all strong and hot.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Frank Frangie here to tell you about the coolest new thing, a putting green in my backyard that my friends at Sunshine Turf installed. Sunshine Turf can do the same for you. They'll come to your house, they'll create a custom design for your space, and you'll have an authentic golf course experience right in your own backyard. I freaking love it. Sunshine Turf is family owned and they made the process so simple. So visit sunshineturf.info or call them at 904-383-0243 and get a free quote today for your own putting green. Get it from Sunshine Turf.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Thanks to Leavon Kirkland hanging out with us, talking Clemson LSU. He also puts P in the word Clemson just like I do. He's an outstanding player. Ring of Honor up there in Clemson, South Carolina. We're going to say hello to a captain from Notre Dame in Jack Kaiser coming up here in just a few minutes. Hopefully we're going to get him out of the locker room just to talk a little Jaguar ball, of course, but primarily just how big this game can be for either side if they come out winners. He played in the national championship game last year, and Phyllis, one of our nooners earlier, diehard Buckeye fan, she definitely remembered all those run play calls against that defense when Notre Dame came out, just handing it off, and then Riley running, doing everything that they were doing. But we'll find out what the vibe is from that side, because we admit it. We've been coming at it from the Miami point of view this whole time because of Big Surge and JJ's, all the fandom, Denny with the relationship with Beck, all that kind of stuff. But you have to look at it from the Notre Dame side. National championship performing team a year ago.
Played well enough. You know, it got away from them early. I think the moment was kind of big, but they really played well in the second half, got back in that game. Could have really, got it to a one possession game, and then it was just a bad third and long call, bad defensive call to leave Jeremiah Smith 1-on-1 out there, and Will Howard made a perfect throw, and that ended it. But So you got to give him credit for getting back in that game too.
Oh heck yeah, and that, I think one of the reasons I love Marcus Freeman is just the preparation, the intensity, how he gets his guys to play. Really, the echo of the whistle kind of feeling from that defensive unit last year. And you have to give Al Golden credit because he did a killer job as well.
Great job.
Oh, my gosh. That was just such an attacking, sound defense on that side of the ball. And we'll find out what they've got this year going forward, whether or not they can have that return production guys on that side of the ball with a new defensive coordinator and ultimately get it done. And so we'll see whether or not they have the recruiting that Marcus Freeman's done. It's been outstanding. And so we'll find out whether or not.
Great if Jeremiah Love stays healthy. If he stays healthy, they've got a chance to have a big season.
All right.
Big season.
One of our dudes said, Joe, nothing ticks me off more than putting a Z in Clemson. There is an invisible P. So like I told you, I mix it up. And
so he's admitting to the invisible P.
Yeah, he said there's an invisible P. He said, but he doesn't like that Z. So look.
He's a Southerner.
He is,
if
man.
He thinks it's invisible P. He's definitely a Southerner.
It's Clemson. So I'll work on that. But I guarantee I kind of go back and forth with the P or the Z in Clemson.
I think Trev probably uses the Z, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably.
Trev and Etienne.
Travis, yeah.
They probably use the Z.
I can't say that I've heard Trevor say it too often. Etienne does sound like he's got the P in there. Yeah.
Shalley probably uses the P.
Yeah. All right, so let's get ready for Jack Kaiser. We'll hopefully be able to get him out of the locker room, talk a little Jag ball with him, but primarily Notre Dame as they get ready to take on Miami down at Hard Rock.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Football season is back, baby. Hicken here, and I know I'm excited to get back to watching some ball over the weekend. But with the fun comes responsibility. Taking care of your skin while outside, extremely important. We know it feels like 100 out there, and that sun is blazing. Make sure you bring the screen while loading up all that tailgate. It's simple. Protect your skin. It's the Sunshine State. To help you protect your skin, Beaches Dermatology is here. I've been going to them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops upon Avedra.
you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is it's Christmas morning. Let's all enjoy it, man. Let's all enjoy it. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday at 9 with Jordan Hudson and the North Carolina Tar Heels against TCU. By the way, really good TCU team, too. Chandler Morris, a good player, good quarterback.
I do want to follow that Jordan remark. Will she have a flip card, a play sheet, and a headset where she can, will she be signaling in play?
Will she be in heels? That's the question.
Isn't it sad that she's the most famous Jordan at UNC right now?
Oh, that's
she's not. Stop it. Just stop.
She is right
it.
now. She is right now.
If
you say, you walk up to anybody and go, Jordan, North Carolina, they'll say, Belly's girlfriend? Is that what you're talking about?
Right, that's what they'll say, right?
That is scary.
The Muse?
Yeah, that is scary when you think about it.
You two with your LeBron love.
Yeah, well, no. Believe me, they totally get the star power that is His Highness, the rare Michael Jordan. But still, come on. Right now, you say North Carolina Jordan, you're thinking of Billy's girlfriend. We're not going to talk about that one. We're going to zero in on Notre Dame and Clemson. What a huge ball game we've got to look forward to. And a guy that was a team captain for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish with his years up in South Bend is a guy that the Jaguars drafted in the third round. And they're expecting him to come in and do big things, which I love because he has the potential to come in and be that same type of guy here. Makes the roster. We're going to find out and see how much he can contribute, be it special teams or from the linebacking core. Let's find out a little bit more about Jack right now.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Now, first off, Jaguar fans are pumped up that Jack Kaiser is in Duval, and he's made this roster, and he's going to lend some expertise to the linebacking core and special teams. Welcome in, Jack. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Listen, we want to say congrats first for making the 53. That was never a concern, but we definitely want to say it. But when I talked to you during one of the practices, it might have even been, it was early in training camp, whatever it was, I was saying, hey, bro, you've got to come on and tell us a little bit more about Notre Dame versus Miami. You're very familiar with the rivalry. How big is it in Notre Dame's fans' minds now that we're seeing these two teams play? First time since 2017 again.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I never got to be a part of that. I never got to play in this game. But, if you know Notre Dame football or Miami football, you obviously know about Catholics versus convicts and the whole Jimmy Johnson, Lou Holtz rivalry that was kind of created. And so, I think it's, in 2017, Notre Dame was a ranked team, goes down Miami and kind of gets throttled a little bit. And, that certainly has left a bad taste in the mouth. And so I know for a fact the boys are excited back in South Bend to get another chance to go down to Miami and kind of get their look back.
Love it. Hey, Jack, Notre Dame, love them or hate them. How cool is it as a Notre Dame player to go on the road in a big environment and play in a game like that?
Yeah, there's a handful of reasons why you choose to go to Notre Dame, but week one playing on the big stage at a big opponent on the road, that's up there, right? I was very fortunate to play in a Florida State environment that was pretty hostile in a week one. Texas A&M night game, I feel like every year we had a big week one matchup, and this year's no different. Going down to what's going to be a hostile, Hard Rock Stadium, and it's going to be a pretty cool environment for them for sure.
We're talking with Jack Kaiser, linebacker for your Jacksonville Jaguars, and was a team captain for Notre Dame, playing in the national championship game a year ago. What are your memories, and what did you learn from that climb to get to that championship game, just as a football player?
Man, I would say I grew more as a person than anything last year, especially last year during that season. We opened up the season with a big win against Texas A&M, going down and beating them, and then we lose against a Northern Illinois team that I think the whole country thought we'd, crush. And we are the laughingstock of college football. And so I think that really, made me, look into myself and kind of judge myself and figure out, how do I have to become, what do I have to do to become a better leader and to grow as a person? Not only, obviously there's X's and O's we had to fix, but, how can we get better as an individual? And then you kind of see how our climb, as you said, throughout the season, and every week it felt like we were getting better. And then to go on that magical, postseason run and beat a SEC champion and beat, Penn State in the Orange Bowl, and then, to play a pretty poor first half against a really good Ohio State team, and in the second half come back and have a chance to, do something pretty special in the end. I think that just goes to show, the growth and resilience of that team we had last year. And I like to say that's kind of what I grew in, was that resilience and that confidence factor as an individual and as a football player, for sure.
Hey, Jack, a couple things. First, are you off Sunday? And if you are you going down there? And number two, tell us a little bit about C.J. Carr, new starting quarterback in Notre Dame.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you I was going to the game. If it was Saturday, I might have made a bit, bigger attempt. But with it being Sunday, we're off. But it's Sunday night. Like, I got to go to work Monday morning. So, not going down. But I'll have it on the TV. I'm actually going to Robert Hainsey's house to watch it, and so that'll be fun. And kind of root the boys on. And then C.J. Carr, I think a lot of people are saying, inexperienced and whatnot, but he's such a special talent. There were some days last year where he's on scout team and he's making throws and fitting the ball into some windows, and you're looking around like, this guy should not be over here right now. This is not what a scout team quarterback is supposed to look like. And so I'm really excited for him to kind of show the world what he can do. But at the same time, he doesn't have to do it by himself. That offense is going to be, they got a lot coming back, and obviously, if you just look at the running back room, there's a lot of talent in that room alone. And so, I don't think he needs to do it by himself. Anything like, just do what the team needs of him. Don't try to make the game bigger than it is.
All right, I want to sneak one more Catholics versus convicts question in, but first, how stoked are you about this defense and rebuilding this franchise on that side of the ball? You're one of the guys they picked to come in and basically reclaim some glory here in Duval. What do you think about this roster and making the squad?
Yeah, I think, first off, this whole offseason learned a lot and been around a lot of great guys that kind of showed me the ropes and helped me in the transition. And then, you kind of go through these last couple of days with all these cuts and everything, and it really opens your eyes to the business side of things, right? And it makes you appreciate the guys that are in the locker room and the coaches that are here that are, pushing you every single day and kind of the human aspect of it. And so you look around this locker room that we have, and there's a lot of great guys, But then you look at the type of football players they are, and the defense especially, like physical, ferocious, just guys that want to make plays and go out there and want to compete at the highest level. And I think that's something that's been pretty evident this whole camp, is that, every single day is a physical day. Every single day we're competing our tails off on offense and defense. And so, defensively, we're excited to go out there and kind of, play something, play a game that matters and put our, best foot forward.
Yeah, you better believe it. They're going to look forward to that game coming up a week from Sunday. All right, real quick, what's your memory of Catholic versus convicts? Did you have a family member or a friend that was associated with that way back in the late 80s?
So I had no directing, but I know my dad loves to say that he was at every single Catholics versus convicts game that took place in South Bend. My dad was able to be at. Oh, and so nice. He has the original shirt and everything, and his friend was part of the security team, so he was able to get into the tunnel one time, and he said he got to see Jimmy Johnson, and that was like really cool. So that's my one connection right there. But obviously, I've seen the 30 for 30. I've seen the pictures in the hallway. I've heard Lou Holtz talk about it. So I feel like I'm just as invested as any other Notre Dame football player out there in this game for sure.
Well, listen, man, we appreciate your time. We know that you're all Duval right now, but you'll be watching that one, enjoying it. And best of luck, Jack. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Hey, thanks again for having me on.
All right, man, that's awesome. Jack Kaiser making your 53-man roster as a captain of Notre Dame and looking to see if they can recreate some of that Catholics versus convicts. Right now, though,
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Lauren Brooks joins us now. We had to squeeze in the Jack Kaiser interview, which was just awesome.
I have a feeling my co-host Taylor Dahl is not going to be all that happy that y'all got Jack and she didn't get to talk to him as obviously a Notre Dame fan.
Which is pretty neat, though. But he was so fired up about his time at Notre Dame, which is great. Good story.
It's a great school. I mean, it's a great environment. Everybody knows that you go there to get a degree, too.
Yeah.
It's one of those last bastions in college football where they are going to leave school most of the time with a college degree.
All right, what's coming up?
Yeah, we'll continue the Jaguars conversation. Heard from Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence post-practice and talk some college football like y'all did as well.
Right. They are in the countdown. And Jack said, he goes, I got a day off, but I'm not going to be able to make it down there. All right, we'll be listening. Helmets and Heels coming up next. We are done. Thanks to the Jaguars PR staff for making a little time for Jack Kaiser to jump on with us. We are out.
Rebound. A little juice for that game already.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. Rebound Rehab. Thanks to them. Don't forget 11 locations across the First Coast. Soon to be 12. Make sure you check them out for any of your injuries. You can get back in the game before you know it. Joe C., Matty Hayes, JJ, Helmets and Heels coming up.